All right, everybody, welcome to my Sunday stock watch for September 28th. It's the week of September 29th. But anyways, let's get right into it. Let's start with the economic calendar for this next and upcoming week. So for Monday, no news Monday. We don't have a whole lot going on. We do have a couple Fed speakers a bit later in the day. But besides that, we really don't have a whole lot. For Tuesday, we have JOLTS job openings, so that will be quite important since recently we've been very reliant on the number of jobs that we have in the economy because that's the current thing that is slowing us down. So this will be very important to watch for, and then not a whole lot else going on for Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we do have PMI coming out 30 minutes after market open, so something to be aware of and watch for. But again, rest of the day, we don't have a whole lot going on. And then for Thursday, we don't got much on Thursday. We got initial jobless claims and then a couple other events coming out, factory orders 30 minutes after market open. But so Thursday, not super important. And then Friday is NFP. So we have non-farm payrolls on Friday. This will be very, very important. And I must exaggerate how important that is. So please, please, please make sure you understand that this is coming out Friday. Okay? But anyways, let's take a look at overnight market. So currently QQQ is up about $1 from market close. Most things are up a little bit from market close on Friday. So let's have a little look. Current range I'm expecting throughout this next week, and let's go into the hourly time frame. I'm going to quickly turn this off. So now that we're on the hourly time frame, some areas that I would ideally like to watch for that I think we could see a nice range in between is going to be this last week low of this 588.50 area. So that's kind of our low. And then up to our all-time high at 602.90 range. So that's the general range that I'm looking for going into this next week. And just some areas, I definitely think tomorrow, since we kind of have a no news Monday going on, I would expect the market to be a bit more bullish. So I definitely think now that we're still sitting around 597, we're sitting up here. I would like to see us retrace maybe $1 or so or $2 down to 595 and then get a nice bounce, and we could probably continue higher. I would say about $3, but I wouldn't be expecting a whole lot going into tomorrow. And then SPY, I would say the same general area as well. So this 654.43, this is going to be a nice range, and this 667.39. So obviously SPY has a quite larger range than QQQ. So pay attention and be aware of that and watch the correlation between SPY and QQQ. But yeah, so currently I definitely think, again, no news Monday, we could run higher. And then the rest of the week, since we do have some important news out on Tuesday and somewhat Wednesday, Thursday, not so much, but Friday is the real big data coming out, non-farm payrolls. I don't really know exactly where price could go after that. So generally just speaking, I definitely think tomorrow we will have a nice little bounce or a nice little run up. So yeah, those are the general ranges that I'm looking in between, and just some like quick levels. I would say to watch for this 664 level, and I would definitely be watching for this 660 area. So if we can trade down to 660 tomorrow, get a bounce from there, and continue up a few dollars, that would be ideal range. And then next few names that I am looking at are mainly going to be Bitcoin names. So Bitcoin just got a really nice bounce back up during today, actually. So we were trading within this range at 108, and we finally just got a huge bounce. So let's take a quick look at, my bad, I didn't mean to zoom in like that. So Circle's up $1, MSTR is up 7, Coin is up $6. So either the couple things that I want to see going into tomorrow is Bitcoin trade back down around to 111 range, get a bounce from there, and we could catch Coin, MSTR, Circle to continue higher. Circle's still down quite a bit, so I would really like to see this name run if we could just get above 130 with a nice hold. I definitely think we could see back up to 135 quite easily as long as Bitcoin continues higher and higher. Um, but the rest of the week, again, with news coming out, I'm not generally too sure. But yeah, I would definitely keep an eye on those crypto names. So with Coinbase though, I definitely want to see us, and we are currently sitting at 318.62. So I do like the fact that we're holding above 317. That was a pretty strong level for me. So I definitely want to see us continue into 325 range, and I think MSTR is the name that could really go. With all this downside we got last week, we even traded back into the 290 ranges, which is unfamiliar. We haven't seen that area in quite a bit. As you can see, even if we go into the 4-hour time frame, we might even have to go into the daily. Look at that. So we really got some nice downside on MSTR last week, so I would love to see us trade back above, and I think we currently are trading above there. Yeah, so actually I would love to see us break back above that 318 range and then just get a really nice run up. We could get, we could see some nice movement out of MSTR above there. I would love to see us back at 330 to 335 range as long as Bitcoin can continue this trend up, as long as we're bullish going into tomorrow. And again, this is mainly going into Monday because the rest of the week we do have some news. So we'll see. And then a couple other names that I'm watching for. Meta is going to be the first one. I do want to see a nice bounce on Meta. So currently we are trading at 746. So that's wonderful. I would love to see us hold above 745. I want to continue to see that. And I definitely think we could see a nice bounce into 754 range on Meta as long as it doesn't chop us around. So we'll see there going into tomorrow. And then another name obviously is going to be Tesla. So Tesla is currently trading at 444. Wowie. So we'll have to look out on the daily time frame. So yeah, 444, we could definitely tomorrow I think we could see 450. Not a doubt in my mind, but once we start trading near this like 470 to 480, I would be expecting a little bit of a pullback. And I would say that it's going to be hard to get into those ranges. So please watch for that 450 area on Tesla if you look to be trading it. But yeah, I would watch for a reject there. And obviously Tesla has got a ton of movement. So just be generally careful trading it. So that's the next name that I'm looking at. We'll take a little look at Nvidia. So Nvidia is currently sitting at currently sitting at 178.38. So not much of a change from Friday, and we don't have a lot of range to work with. So I do kind of want to see this trade back into 184 area, and if we can hold above 180, that's where I would be taking it, or I'd be waiting for a bounce from 175 into that 180 area. And then I think we could definitely get a reject at this higher area right here because we've just rejected it so many times. But we'll see. Again, we'll see how bullish this week is. Regarding last week, we got, a bit of a pullback, but now we're kind of trading right back to normal. So kind of just depends. So those are mainly all the names that I'm watching for going into this next week. I don't want to keep the list too heavy. I guess Palantir is a good one as well. I think we could definitely reject those higher areas, getting closer to 190. So Palantir is currently trading at 178.40. So yeah, if we can trade back into that 185 area, we could definitely see a rejection from that upper level as well. And not tomorrow, but probably later in the week is where I want to see these rejects start to happen. So I definitely have a more bullish bias going into Monday. And after that, if we are just continuing and ripping up, we can definitely start to see some rejects. So that is all for my Sunday stock watch. That is all the names that I'm basically watching for this week, crypto names and just general tech, Tesla, Meta, Nvidia, and Palantir. So, anyways, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and I will see you guys all later.